brands. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase. Our sleep experts are here to help, only at Mattress Firm.
Once again, afternoon thunderstorms firing up. What does this mean for your weekend plans? I'll let you know.
As COVID cases continue to spike in Utah, healthcare workers are being pushed to the brink.
I didn't think it would be like this.
What one frontline worker says hospitals may soon face. Plus, we go in depth with the science behind breakthrough cases.
And many parts of Nevada, you're going to have to wear one of these again, how people are reacting to the new mask mandate.
We have a lot of churches that have a lot of grass that nobody ever uses.
St. George's mayor is calling churches into repentance over their lawns.
Plus, a concrete spill in a Mill Creek stream could be disastrous for people living there. What we know and why it's so hazardous.
Live from Utah's news leader, Fox 13's Live at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, we continue to have active weather in southern Utah this evening. A flash flood warning for Zion National Park is about to expire.
But not before it dropped more heavy rain this afternoon. Let's get right to meteorologist Breck Bolton in the First Alert Weather Center. Breck.
Well, this has been a focus every afternoon. Of course, we have this monsoon flow, that moisture in place, the heating of the day. We fire up these thunderstorms, and that's what we're seeing once again all throughout central and southern Utah. We mentioned Zion National Park. Yes, we did have some activity, a thunderhead moving through. It produced just over ½ of an inch of rain in a short period of time. Now, I mentioned that flash flood warning, which we're on the tail end of this, should be expiring around 5:15. And right now, we're taking a breather. It's a little easy there, at least as we look at Zion National Park. But this has been an area of focus here, again, moving through the afternoon. As we look what we call downstream, which is actually further south because the flow is from southeast to northwest. There's still some moisture and some thunderstorm activity coming in from Arizona that potentially could pose some problems a little bit later on, but a little bit of a break right now. We've been seeing some active weather. Panguitch up through Bryan Head over towards Cedar City along I-15. Definitely can find some areas of some standing water making your move through those areas. As we turn further northward, it's now looking over towards Spanish Fort Canyon further south. One area of concern, you know, when you're going up through Spanish Fort Canyon at Thistle down through Birdseye, some heavy thunderstorms which are beginning to allow for some more active weather as we look towards Juab and then the southern end of Utah County. Things fairly clear along the Wasatch Front for now, but this moisture on the move. What's going to happen for this weekend? I'll let you know coming up.
All right, thanks, Breck. Now to our other top story. Utah's new COVID-19 case count continues to climb again. For the second day in a row in recent months, it is above 1,000 today. More than 1,200 confirmed cases.
And hospitals now once again starting to fill up with COVID patients. You may remember how the pandemic didn't just create a strain on healthcare workers, it exhausted them, and now it's starting to happen again.
Fox 13's Spencer Joseph joins us live with what healthcare workers are thinking now. Spencer.
Good afternoon. Now, today I spoke with Lauren McKeever. She's an ICU nurse on the floor of University Hospital at the University of Utah, and she admits to me that this is a really tough time. At one point, their ICU only had two COVID patients. Today, it's almost full at 93%, and they're saying that all of this is just very demoralizing.
Even from the very beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, frontline healthcare workers have been fighting.
I didn't think it would be like this.
Putting on their stethoscopes and protective gear, those like Lauren McKeever say,
We're just very tired.
This battle has been a long one, and while it looked for a moment as if the fight had been won.
After the vaccine rolled out, we kind of had a reprieve for a little while. We got down to like 2 or 3 patients.
Things are dire once again.
And then Memorial Day hit, and now we're like full again.
McKeever is a nurse on the ICU floor at University Hospital and candidly admits this is a fight that has drained every ounce out of the workers.
My general anxiety, even when I'm outside of work, is higher. You kind of find yourself like isolating more because you can't find people to relate to, you know, what you're seeing at work every day. And you go out in the public and half the people you know aren't vaccinated, and it's just kind of demoralizing.
That has led many to leave the profession altogether, leaving fewer frontline workers to take care of this next surge.
Like, I can't blame people for leaving, like the conditions and just the amount of death and, you know, human suffering we see every day is horrible.
While the ICU isn't full, it's getting close.
The day we have to overflow, that would be like a really hard hit.
So when asked what comes next, for Lauren, a lot of the hope for the future has been replaced by apprehension for the present.
I don't know. I've been doing a lot of thinking and I haven't had a lot of hopeful thoughts just by looking at the way things are going. I'm really worried for the fall and, you know, when more people are inside and the Delta variant's so much more transmissible that in a perfect world, yeah, we'll have no patients in the ICU in 6 months, but I just don't think that's going to be how this plays out.
So right now, how bad is our shortage in the state of Utah? Well, as of last week, the University of Utah had about 700 open positions in healthcare. Intermountain Healthcare as a whole had about 1,000 open positions. And with this lack of frontline healthcare workers, this could be a serious problem. And as you just heard, it really is impacting healthcare workers. And they're saying, please get the vaccine as soon as you can. But for now, live in Salt Lake City, Spencer Joseph, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Spencer, thank you for that. In addition to the high case count reported today, the state health officials say one more Utahn has lost their life to the virus. The 7-day positivity rate is climbing as well, now at 14.7%.
On the vaccination front, more than 7,300 doses of COVID-19 vaccine have been administered since yesterday's report, and a little more than 2,700 more Utahns are now considered fully vaccinated. Meantime, one doctor at Intermountain Healthcare is sharing his concerns about the rising case counts. Dr. Eddie Stenham says it's something he did not envision more than halfway through the summer. He says Utah now has the 11th highest rate of new COVID cases per 100,000 people in the entire country. Dr. Stenham goes on to say that state officials have done an excellent job administering the vaccine to those who were ready, willing, and eager to get it. He says for the most part, they are not catching the Delta variant. And if they do, the effects of the virus are dramatically less severe.
I mean, this just comes down to the fact that vaccines work. I mean, vaccines prevent cases, they prevent hospitalizations, they prevent deaths. And this isn't, you know, rocket science. This is what we'd expect in terms of the epidemiology of the virus across the U.S., that the lower the vaccine rate, the higher number of cases you can have.
He says we can still have an uphill climb convincing the 30 to 40% of Utahns who are still undecided or against getting the vaccine. But he says we need to keep trying.
The Delta variant has come to the U.S. after it already took hold in other countries, some of them with excellent data tracking the new cases and the new surges. Going in depth tonight, Fox 13's Max Roth joins us in studio with what we can see from those examples. Max.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. You know, the fact is the Delta variant is infectious enough to cause more breakthrough cases than we've seen before, but those cases look very different depending on who's infected and where. So what I want to do right now is look at those who don't trust the vaccines, take you to a couple of places where your concerns might not matter as much.
65% of American adults told the Kaiser Family Foundation they were vaccinated. The biggest divide wasn't by gender, race, education, or age. It was political party. 86% of Democrats said they got the shot. 52% of Republicans said the same. Among those who say they will definitely not get the shot, Republicans also stand out, 9% higher than the overall 14% of Americans who say definitely not. So let's take a tour for skeptics outside the U.S., where neither Democrats nor Republicans hold sway. Two of the countries with the highest vaccination rates are the UK and Israel. 57% of Brits are fully vaccinated, and as we're seeing in Utah, that has not stopped the Delta variant from infecting a lot of people. But take a look at what the virus did in the last surge and in this one. The blue are cases, the orange, deaths. There's one clear conclusion. Thousands of people who would have died in January are just a little sick in July. Now let's go to Israel, where 59% of the population is fully vaccinated. They are experiencing the same spike in cases spurred by Delta, and just like the UK, deaths are not following that same trajectory.
It's stunning to look at the numbers, and you can find them in other places. The numbers that I was showing you, they're straight from the UK and from Israel. They're not from the CDC here in the US. They're not from a US media site. And the links, if you'd like to see them, are on the charts from this story online. We'll get them on there. You'll find the same thing looking at other countries. The Dutch have a good website, for example. And you'll also find the opposite in India. They had next to no vaccinations when Delta got them, and it killed more people than their health service could count. Live in studio, Max Roth, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Max, thank you. Still to come, a bombshell development: why former President Trump must hand over his tax returns to Congress.
A mask mandate went into effect today in many parts of Nevada. Why some say they're happy to see it happen and others say they're furious.
The Dark Sky Forecast is brought to you by Clark Planetarium. Launch your learning of the dark sky today.
Whoa, that was easy. I can't believe I got 2 pairs for under $80. I was worried about switching to Progressives, but they made me feel great about it. Like a star. A star with lipstick on her teeth.
2 pairs starting under $40, only at iMart Express.
This is where Kayla organized a community food drive. Now, it's also where she'll make sure Bella nails her science presentation. This school year, many YMCAs are transforming some of their spaces for virtual learning. The Y, forever learning, for a better us.
Hey, it's your journey. Own it. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the Elantra or Sonata, or get up to $1,500 in total savings. Only at your Utah Hyundai dealer. It's your journey. Own it. The Hyundai Santa Fe. Get 0.9% APR for 60 months on the Santa Fe, or get up to $1,000 in total savings. Only at your Utah Hyundai dealer.
Feels like Groundhog Day, honestly. I mean, I think that everyone was so excited to be getting back to normal, and the mask mandate coming back makes it feel like we're back in March of last year again.
A mask mandate is now in effect in much of Nevada, including West Wendover, a popular destination for Utahns.
Fox 13's Sydney Glenn went to the Nugget Casino as people adjust now to COVID restrictions coming back.
Really mixed reactions from people about having to wear a mask again as COVID cases continue to surge.
The sound of winning money is ringing through Wendover, but it's not the only thing people are buzzing about.
Masks are required at all times with guests and employees.
The new mask mandate went into effect at midnight.
It's been frustrating, but we want to do whatever we can to keep our employees and guests safe at all times.
Having to wear a mask again is creating some mixed emotions for people. As they gamble, making some feel like they lost.
Mask up, then take your mask down to put it, to even smoke or to drink or anything, you have to keep moving back and forth, and it's a joke.
But making others feel like they're winning.
No, in fact, I think a lot of places I'd rather have it on, because even though I'm vaccinated, that doesn't mean I can't get it, and maybe give it to my grandkids that aren't.
The West Wendover mayor says his biggest concern is ending up with the same high case counts they saw last year.
It makes sense why the governor reinstated the mask mandate, but it does feel like we're going back and not going forward like we thought we were, which is kind of frustrating.
Luckily, the general manager for the Nugget Casino says they kept all their COVID signage.
We weren't sure in case anything would come back, and we just held on to everything just to make sure that we are prepared for situations like this again, unfortunately.
With masks on, everyone in here is still hoping for that lucky draw.
Right now, the general manager says the only COVID protocol they have in place is this mask mandate, and he says they have no immediate plans to add any more. In Wendover, Sydney Glenn, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Still ahead, new developments in the case against Chad and Lori Daybell, why prosecutors are dropping some charges.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill in a tough battle to help tenants on the verge of being evicted. I'm Madeline Rivera in Washington with where the situation stands for millions across the country.
A garden hose is like roadside assistance. Quality matters. So join AAA, America's most recommended roadside service, from $5 a month.
Dog bite injury? Now your attorney matters. You need Robert J. DeBryan Associates. Call or click today for a free case review. Now your attorney matters. Robert J. DeBryan Associates.
Now's the time to get a Ford built for you by you. Pick your color, your wheels, and other available features specifically designed for your Ford. Want an F-150 with a 12-inch touchscreen, 400 horsepower in an Explorer, or a moonroof? You've got it. And now an additional $1,000 bonus cash on top of all public offers. See your dealer for a Ford built for you by you. Build and order your select Ford today and get $1,000 bonus cash in addition to all public offers.
Dad?
I was the lead singer.
Packing tape is like roadside assistance. Quality matters. So join AAA, America's most recommended roadside service, from $5 a month.
In national news, the Justice Department has changed its mind and will now send former President Donald Trump's tax returns to Congress. The department says the House Ways and Means Committee chair has, quote, invoked sufficient reasons, unquote, to get the returns. In 2019, the same office backed the IRS's refusal to hand over the former president's returns during the Trump administration. Today's move will allow Congress to conduct an investigation into whether President Trump actually complied with tax law.
A new study reveals black drivers are more likely to be disrespected by police officers than white drivers. This new information comes from the American Psychological Association. Researchers analyzed body camera video and audio clips. They found officers spoke to black men with less warmth, respect, and ease than white men. The study also showed that body camera footage provides important information about police stops and necessary evidence.
Dog owners, listen up. Various brands of dog food made by Sunshine Mills are under recall. They may contain elevated levels of alpha toxin, which is a poisonous byproduct of mold. The brands being recalled include Triumph, Evolve, Wild Harvest, and Elm. No illnesses have been reported so far. More information and a list of brands can be found at fox13now.com.
New at 5, prosecutors in Idaho are dropping some charges against Chad Daybell and his wife Lori. Court documents reveal the concealment of evidence charges have been done away with, so they can now focus on the more serious murder charges against the couple. The two have been locked up since last year when Lori's children, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan, went missing, and their bodies were eventually found buried in Chad's backyard in Idaho.
Federal lawmakers are scrambling to come up with a solution as nationwide ban on evictions is set to expire at midnight tomorrow. Tenants and landlords are waiting patiently, trying to figure out their next step.
Fox's Madeline Rivera has the latest from Washington.
The last few months for Roxanne Schaefer have felt like an uphill climb, struggling to make payments on the home she's lived in for 5 years.
We have been paying our rent, we just can't come up with the full amount.
Now Schaefer, who's been using disability pay to cover part of her rent, says her landlord could soon force her out.
I got anxiety, I'm nervous, I can't sleep.
Since September, millions of renters like Schaefer, who fell behind on payments during the pandemic, were protected by a federal ban on evictions. But the eviction moratorium ends July 31st. And with not a lot of time left before August recess, Congress is scrambling to extend it.
This was a known and preventable disaster.
Several Democrats and Republicans are also criticizing an emergency fund meant to help renters. Of the $46.5 billion that Congress approved for rental relief, only $3 billion has been distributed.
Why should the renters be punished for the fact that the system did not put money in their pockets to pay the rent to the landlords?
The White House, meanwhile, argues its hands are tied after the Supreme Court ruled the ban could only stay until the end of July.
The Supreme Court said it could only be extended with congressional authorization.
As lawmakers on Capitol Hill work to find a solution, many like Schaefer are facing a grim possibility.
I'll be homeless out in the street.
At least 8 states and D.C. will still have some protections for renters if an extension for the federal eviction ban fails. In Washington, Mallory Rivera, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Once again, a little on the edge of our seats here as we look across central and southern Utah, as we have been over the past several days with these afternoon thunderstorms. Today, the thunderstorms a little bit more isolated, but they are producing some heavy rain. Current temperature in St. George, 92 degrees. You're not looking at any rain right now, but the chance is there as we move through the evening. Now, Wasatch Front, clouds increasing. Of course, we got some beneficial rain a little bit earlier on. We're looking at a threat of an isolated thunderstorm moving through the early evening hours, and that chance of showers still in effect as we look from the Storm Prediction Center, where, yes, across the state, the outlook was we were going to see the possibility of those thunderstorms that could produce heavy rain. That's the outlook for today. What about tomorrow? You're going to see me kind of just change that up a little bit, but it doesn't change across the state. Really, as we move through the weekend, the moisture sticking around. We are going to see, though, the movement of the moisture push further northward. As I show you now Sunday, yeah, a good chance of seeing some scattered thunderstorms. A lot of it over the mountains, but the focus will turn towards northern Utah as you look towards the end of the week, where we're not letting go of the moisture as of yet. But we're going to see things dry out as we look over the next 7 days and actually allow temperatures to bump back up. Now let's take a look at our watches and warnings map. The flash flood warning that was in effect for Zion National Park has expired. Still a focus, though, across southwestern Utah, where we continue to see some thunderstorms making their move, producing some heavy rain. The focus maybe not near Zion National Park right now, but it's further northward. Really, as you go from Panguitch Lake over towards Bryan Head, that's definitely a focus. So if you're traveling east of Cedar City along there, State Road 14, that's definitely a spot that we could see some heavy rain, and keeping our focus to see if from the National Weather Service they need to issue any flash flood warnings. Right now, that is not the case. Moving further northward, though, at Spanish Fork Canyon, that focus, as I mentioned, that junction as you make your move from Spanish Fork Canyon over towards Thistle. But even things getting to going right now in Santaquin on the west side there, west of I-15, definitely can encounter some brief heavy rain as that little wave pushes further northward. That's why we're saying there is a chance of an isolated thunderstorm here along the Wasatch Front, with a big focus for the southern end of the Wasatch Front, Utah County through Juab County here for the next couple of hours. So we're not letting go of the moisture. High pressure off towards the east, tapping into that monsoon flow, embedded a few little disturbances. Once this push, as we look off towards this the west with this disturbance, as it will track, it's going to change the flow out of the west, which means that moisture will start pushing away, but it's going to take about 3 days before we see that transition. So moving ahead, we go through, yes, that little wave producing an isolated thunderstorm. Tonight it's fairly calm across the state, but as you can see, moving the clock forward tomorrow morning, that well, you see the cloud cover, which indicates that moisture, at least upper level moisture, the ingredient that could be in effect here for tomorrow. And as we get the heating of the day, we're going to spawn off those thunderstorms once again, especially over the higher terrain. Now for tonight, overnight lows, not too bad. It's 60s and 70s here along the Wasatch Front. Many spots in the 60s, even some 50s, so enough to cool off the house. But again, it's a little bit more muggy out there. We're not letting go of that feel, that humidity moving through the weekend. Tomorrow, it's a better chance of seeing those scattered thunderstorms. 60 to a 70% chance across the south, about a 30 to a 40% chance here for northern Utah. St. George, it's only a 30% chance, though, as we'll be keeping temperatures in the 90s with some clouds throughout the afternoon. Then it looks like high pressure strengthens, the sun comes out, and we start cranking up the heat, and we let go of the chance of rain. Northern Utah, better chance of seeing that rain or thunderstorms Sunday into Monday. Then you dry out. We'll allow those temperatures to bump back up in the mid to upper 90s. So, yeah, we'll get rid of this monsoon flow, but it will be around here for the weekend.
Cleanup has begun after a concrete spill in a Mill Creek stream. Coming up, the warning to people living nearby and why this spill is so hazardous.
They don't use the lawns unless you just kind of want to get out of church and go sit somewhere.
A push to get churches across the state to start ditching their lawns.
Join us Thursdays for Healthier Together at 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Learn ways you and your family can stay healthy with critical updates from medical experts. And see how local groups are making a difference in our communities.
Brought to you by Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield of Utah.
Here's Strong Volkswagen.
If you want a better deal, go see Strong. Savings that are real, go see Strong. We want everyone to know Strong is the place to go. Go see Strong, go see Strong, go see Strong. Want a lifetime warranty, go see Strong. Car washes are no charge, go see Strong. Strong Volkswagen is the best, so drive past all the rest. Go see Strong, go see Strong, go see Strong. Save thousands on Tiguan, Atlas, and more. StrongVW.com.
You fill up my senses like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again.
Cancer is very smart, and every time we think we have a cure, cancer cells develop ways of outsmarting us.
We really need to be creative in thinking about what's going to work best for children.
These researchers and these doctors want it just as much as the parents do.
We are so lucky to have the Children's Cancer Research Fund to support us.
We're trying to save our kids. Everything else can just wait.
You can help us outsmart cancer. Join the fight at childrenscancer.org.
Welcome back, everyone. In today's Money Watch, if you would like to see a Broadway show in New York City, you'll need to be vaccinated for COVID-19.
The Broadway League says all 41 Broadway theaters will require vaccinations, and that goes for audience members, performers, backstage crew, and theater staff for all performances through October. Everyone in the theater must be vaccinated and show proof of it. Audiences must also wear masks.
Target employees will be getting another round of bonuses soon. The company is giving out $200 recognition bonuses for employee efforts over the past 6 months. Full and part-time team members are eligible at all Target stores and distribution centers. Target also raised its starting wage to $15 an hour for all U.S.-based team members.
Google's relationship with so-called sugar dating apps has soured. This week, the tech giant banned such apps. Starting in September, any app that promotes compensated sexual relationships will be prohibited from the Google Play Store. Sugar dating is when money or gifts are exchanged for companionship. The new policy does not affect other kinds of dating apps.
Well, this may be a little awkward. The star of Marvel's latest blockbuster superhero flick, Black Widow, is now suing Disney. Scarlett Johansson has filed a lawsuit claiming Disney breached her contract by releasing Black Widow on its streaming service, Disney+. The lawsuit says this broke the agreement the actress had with the company to exclusively release the film in theaters and that her pay would be based on box office revenue. Disney says the lawsuit has no merit and that the streaming will air the movie and add more money to the $20 million the actress has already been paid for starring in the film.
Stocks ended the month with a gain, and for the S&P 500, that means 6 monthly increases in a row. The major indexes finished lower today, however. Amazon was the biggest drag on the NASDAQ and S&P today after warning online sales will slow because people are returning to in-person shopping. The Dow Jones fell 149 points to close at 34,935. The NASDAQ tumbled 106 and the S&P dropped 24.
Still ahead in our next half hour, the mayor of St. George is calling on the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to adjust like the rest of us when it comes to the drought. What she wants to see happen, plus how the church is responding.
And there's problems happening along Mill Creek. People warned to stay away. How it all started with construction along I-15.
And the first large-scale concert event is back as concerns grow about the Delta variant of the coronavirus. The steps Lollapalooza is taking, while other event organizers watch closely.
people forget the lessons learned as kids, to stay alert and look both ways. If you've been injured, call Craig Swap & Associates first to help you get every dollar you deserve. Craig Swap & Associates, one call, that's all.
Thanks, Craig. That's good advice.
At Smith's, we take scrutinizing freshness to a whole new level, where only the best of the best of the best will do. But just because you can't get any higher than perfect 10 produce, that doesn't mean that we won't try. Because Smith's produce isn't just fresh, it's fresher than fresh. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
So do these have a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty?
No.
I get 24/7 roadside assistance with this, right?
No.
Did this pass the multi-point inspection?
No, I think we're closing.
Didn't you just open?
No, we're closed.
Not everything in life comes with the perks of a certified pre-owned Honda. Find the perfect vehicle for you at your Utah Honda dealers.
Injured in a wreck? Don't accept a lowball offer from the insurance company. You need an expert who will get you the maximum payout for your injuries. Call Craig Swap & Associates right now. One call, that's all.
UDOT and Salt Lake County are telling people to stay out of Mill Creek. A concrete spill has made water unsafe, killing dozens of fish.
Fox 13's Lauren Steinbrecher is live right near I-215 in Mill Creek to explain what happened and also shows up the cleanup process now underway. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, yeah, so you can see that there are some trucks behind me. There's actually a boat that's on one of those trailers from the company that's out here cleaning up. They've been, the creek is actually just down here, and they've been cleaning up all of those dead fish, but it's not just the fish that they're concerned about. They're concerned about people going in the water. Now, this all started, UDOT says, yesterday when they say a contractor doing work on the I-215, I-80 project that I know we've all been driving in somehow spilled concrete into Mill Creek, and it was a significant enough amount that it went downstream, killed a ton of fish downstream, and then of course causing potential issues for humans. Now what we're told is that it's concrete foam, and it was causing the pH levels along Mill Creek to rise to a point that Salt Lake County Health Department said it could cause irritation, even burns for people or for pets who go in the water. So they're telling everybody to stay out of the water. They're trying to figure out exactly how this happened, that much concrete got into the water. They also, of course, want to know what those impacts are.
We're working to understand the environmental impacts of this spill. Right now, what we do know is that there has been a fish kill, and we don't know the magnitude yet.
They were collecting from up there to my backyard, and they already had 60. So there were a lot more than we thought. But from here up to the bridge, they counted up 70 dead fish.
Okay, so those kids that you just heard from, we talked to them. They were kind of watching this all go down yesterday. They found some dead fish along the creek and then watched those crews cleaning up starting yesterday. Now, the Salt Lake County Health Department says that the foam is sitting on top of the water, so it didn't mix with the water. It's more just an issue of touching that foam than it is in actually ingesting the water. Now, to help everybody in the area know what's going on and stay safe, they all had some flyers posted on their doors kind of explaining the situation, telling them to stay out of the creek, and cleanup could take the next week. UDOT says it's complicated because crews actually have to hike down on the banks. It's not something you can easily bring equipment into, so they've got to hand clean the whole thing from here at least down to 500 East. Live in Mill Creek, Lauren Steinbrecher, Fox 13 News, Utah.
They don't use the lawns unless you just kind of want to get out of church and go sit somewhere.
The mayor of St. George is calling churches to repentance in Utah's drought emergency. She would like to see them ditch their lush green lawns for desert and drought-friendly plants.
As Fox 13's Ben Winslow reports, it is an issue that faith groups around the state say they need to address.
St. George Mayor Michelle Randall is pushing stronger water conservation policies in Utah's drought emergency. She's ordered city facilities to start getting rid of lush, water-hogging grass to conserve water for now and the future.
We want to keep our plants, we want to keep our trees, and we want to keep a lot of our grass, but we do not have to have grass like we have. So businesses, schools, we're working with the school district, and we're hoping the churches will come on board too, because we have a lot of churches that have a lot of grass that nobody ever uses.
Across St. George, there are a lot of lawns on churches, which typically see use only once a week for services.
They don't use the lawns unless you just kind of want to get out of church and go sit somewhere. But we are working with them and asking them to please come on board with us on this. They know the conditions we're in St. George.
The mayor says there are signs that churches are cutting their watering to what's recommended 3 times a week in southern Utah, but she'd like to see them get rid of their grass entirely.
By driving by a lot of the churches in St. George right now, I think they have also cut back on their watering because their grass isn't looking too great right now.
Faith groups across the state say they are cutting their water use. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the dominant religion in Utah, says it's reducing water usage for all landscaping on Temple Square and is following the state's recommendations to only water twice a week. The church says it believes the earth was divinely created and we are to be stewards over all blessings the Lord has given us. It goes on to say it's installed water-wise irrigation systems in all new facilities and is retrofitting older systems. It's also adjusting watering schedules to meet state guidelines. The Catholic Diocese of Salt Lake City says statewide it is reducing its lawn watering, and some parishes are considering xeriscaping. At Grace Episcopal in St. George, they're exploring ways to make their grounds even more drought-friendly. The Episcopal Diocese of Utah says it's committed to sustainability and water conservation, especially in the drought. The faith says conservation is one of its top priorities. Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.
The director of elections for the state of Utah is stepping down. Justin Lee has run the state's election for the past 11 years. He's been an outspoken advocate for voter access in Utah. Lee tells Fox 13 he is leaving for a new opportunity to work at the Utah League of Cities and Towns.
The University of Utah could be getting new student dorm rooms. The Salt Lake Tribune is reporting the Ivory University House got initial approval this week. Proceeds earned from rent would go towards scholarships. The development is part of a partnership between the U, Salt Lake City, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and the Clark and Christian Ivory Foundation. A chapel belonging to the church would need to be demolished to make room for the dorm.
In national news, a big concert event, Lollapalooza, is returning this week after being canceled last year.
The annual 4-day music festival is expected to draw 100,000 people to Chicago. But as Usher Qureshi shows us, there's concern the Delta variant could turn the outdoor concert event into a super spreader event.
Following months of isolation, tens of thousands have flocked to Chicago's Grant Park to escape the pandemic and enjoy outdoor music.
It's my second time out at Lollapalooza. I'm so excited. It's nice and hot. You know, I'm trying to sweat, stay hydrated.
It's the first major music festival in the U.S. since the outbreak began, but it comes at a time when COVID cases are surging in parts of the country.
Are you concerned at all?
You know, I got my vaccine. I'm young. I'm healthy. I think I should be chilling.
Yet guidelines to attend Lolla were recently loosened.
Had them COVID cards ready for the next gate, please and thank you.
At first, proof of full vaccination or a negative COVID test 24 hours before entering each day was required. That was downgraded to within 72 hours of arrival.
Any concerns about infections?
No, we're all going to die either way.
Masks are mandated for all unvaccinated attendees, but it's unclear how that's going to be enforced once you get past the gates.
Yeah, you know, probably when I'm in the groups of people, probably might wear it a little bit. Just makes myself feel good. I'm vaccinated, but you know, got to take that extra step sometimes. COVID card out!
The Lollapalooza organizers haven't really made good on their promise to use electronic apps to track vaccination and testing, and so far ticket holders haven't had to upload those things.
A busy July 4th weekend resulted in a cluster of COVID cases in Provincetown, Massachusetts. More than 830 cases. 74% of them reportedly breakthrough infections among vaccinated visitors who became symptomatic.
I can't promise that there won't be any COVID cases associated with Lala. When you're having this many folks who are coming through, almost certainly there will be some cases.
City public health officials admit there are risks of spread even outdoors at massive gatherings like this, but remain confident that they've taken proper precautions.
I'm certainly hopeful that we won't see a significant problem, and I certainly know we're being a lot more responsible than many other settings.
But unlike barriers and fencing, what happens on these grounds can't be contained.
The one thing that will make Lollapalooza into a really dangerous event for the rest of this country will be if people leave Lollapalooza, go back to their unvaccinated communities, and ignore the symptoms that they have afterwards.
Some infectious disease experts recommend getting tested after attending massive outdoor festivals like this, especially if you experience any symptoms.
We plan on getting tested after, a few days after, just in case. You just never be too careful.
But some experts like Dr. Landon say there's only one real way to sidestep the threat.
If you don't want to get COVID, don't go to Lollapalooza.
For now, the potential risk is being drowned out by the music. In Chicago, I'm Usher Qureshi.
Experts say contact tracing across state lines will be key in assessing the ripple effect of mass gatherings like Lollapalooza. The results could also set the stage for health protocols at other major festivals and concerts.
Coming up, those experiencing homelessness in Utah's capital city are one step closer to having a village to call their own. The latest details on the proposed tiny home village.
And as we're seeing the rain, we've been getting a break from the heat, but is that all going to change as we look ahead? We'll take a look at that in your 7-day forecast after the break.
And some quick thinking by employees at a senior center saved a man's life. We'll look at the team effort in 60 seconds.
We went to the ends of the earth to build the Kia Niro EV because we share your belief that the earth is worth the effort. Get 0% APR for up to 66 months on the purchase of a new 2021 Niro EV.
Team USA is ready for the Olympic Games, and so is Erica. She's got incredible internet speed with Wi-Fi faster than a gig. So when all of Team USA is going for gold, her Wi-Fi can power it all and more.
Can your internet do that?
Cheer on Team USA with Wi-Fi speeds faster than a gig. Or get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months. Switch today.
It's summer. Time to trade hibernation for liberation. And you can count on a Kia to take you there. Ranked #1 in dependability by J.D. Power. Get 0% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2022 Sportage.
The proposed tiny home village in Salt Lake City is moving forward. Land has been chosen on which to build the homes. It's at 1850 West Indiana Avenue. Project organizers say there could be up to 500 homes on the property.
It's close to transportation, so it's very proximate to Redwood Road. It'll be accessible to public transportation, but it also has a size that will allow us to have a rich variety of amenities in the village.
The partnership was originally announced in April by Mayor Erin Mendenhall. There are plans to get public input about the tiny houses starting immediately.
A good story here. 3 staff members at Liberty Senior Center saved one of their clients from a near-death experience. Staff members say the person suddenly stopped breathing, and that's when they stepped in. One performed CPR on the military veteran, while others called for help.
This guy has, this guy has put his life on the line for this country, and here it is, it's like me giving back to him for what he's done.
I don't think that I'm really any more significant at this than anyone else. I think that it's just a matter of stepping up.
Yeah, way to step up there. The staff say it was a team effort. Now, the man's name has not been released. However, we know he was released from the hospital the day after the incident.
About 13 million Americans across the country live in flood zones. Still ahead, the big changes coming to FEMA's flood insurance program that could mean a drop in insurance rates for homeowners.
And later in sports, plenty of Jazz updates, including Justin Zanik's explanation on why Jared Butler was a steal last night at number 40. Meanwhile, the team parting ways with a longtime Jazz guy as the team starts to think more Mike Conley now with free agency right around the corner. Back in a bit.
Mattress Warehouse is introducing the new Jelly Mattress by Intellibed. Right now, get a Jelly Mattress at bed-in-the-box prices and get an adjustable base free.
Go to mattresswarehouseutah.com.
mattresswarehouseutah.com.
It's your guardian angel. It's your muse. It's your smart-dressed, tech-intense, safety-obsessed superhero, the Hyundai Sonata and Elantra. Hey, it's your journey. Own it. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the Elantra or Sonata, or get up to $1,500 in total savings. Only at your Utah Hyundai dealer.
Whoa, that was easy. I can't believe I got 2 pairs for under $80. I was worried about switching to Progressives, but they made me feel great about it. Like a star. A star with lipstick on her teeth.
2 pairs starting under $40, only at iMart Express.
Why O-Cedar? Because when I get home, we like to play crocodile on the floor. O-Cedar Easy Ring removes over 99% of bacteria, even with just water. Easy and truly clean floors. O-Cedar, it feels great to feel at home.
Unlock a summer of possibilities in a new Chevy. Expand your options and your perspective. Find your next adventure in a new Chevy.
The open road is waiting. Current qualified lessees can sign and drive this 2021 Equinox for around $287 a month, or get interest-free financing for 72 months on most 2021 Equinox models when you purchase and finance with GM Financial.
Save big at the Mattress Warehouse, Serta Mattress, King for a Queen, and Queen for a Twin sale. Save on Serta Perfect Sleeper and get this Camp Chef stove for free.
Go to mattresswarehouseutah.com.
mattresswarehouseutah.com.
So glad you can join us for Fox 13 News Live at 5 on this Friday evening. Meteorologist Breck Bolton will have your first alert forecast, weekend forecast, coming up in just a few minutes.
13 million Americans live in flood zones, speaking of the weather. In fact, every state in America has some kind of flood risk.
That's right. And Chris Connie shows us some major changes coming to FEMA's flood insurance program, and it could impact how much you pay.
The tide comes in, the tide goes out. Such is life by the sea, a fog of uncertainty that often hangs heavy over coastal communities nationwide.
You're at the edge of the earth. You're in God's country. The rules are very, very, very different.
Over the years, Gordon Peabody has learned to respect the water.
Well, a surge will take you even over my hand.
As a coastal consultant, he's helped develop innovative techniques for protecting property owners. Ideas like this wall of pylons that diverts waves when they come in.
The wave energy comes in, and then it's divided. Some of it goes that way, and some of it goes that way.
The shorelines that Gordon walks are here in Provincetown, Massachusetts. Like many communities, they've seen their share of floods, from hurricanes to rising sea levels. As a result, FEMA has paid out hundreds of millions of dollars in flood insurance claims to property owners. The money pays for things like dune restoration and raising homes out of harm's way.
It helps the property owners with their insurance because they're going to be safe, but it totally transforms neighborhoods.
But the rates that people across the country pay for flood insurance are changing. FEMA has rebranded their flood insurance program, calling it Risk Rating 2.0. Insurance rates are now based on factors like a homeowner's distance to the water, types of flood exposure, and the cost of replacing a building. The higher a building's cost, the more expensive the premium, and vice versa. It's not just coastal communities impacted by these changes. Some 13 million Americans live in flood zones, be it by the ocean, a river, or just a small stream.
What FEMA is saying is that the closer you are to the source of flooding, the higher your rates are going to be.
Shannon Holst is a floodplain specialist. She sees these changes as a major benefit to homeowners and business owners alike.
I do think that this is an important change because they are coming up to speed with the rest of the private market.
We also have this area here.
Back in Provincetown, building inspector Ann Howard is working almost daily on flood plans.
And it's paying off. I got to tell you, I'm exhausted still. It's a lot of work. It's an awful lot of work.
Efforts to manage climate change here have been decades in the making. Hard work that's paying off. FEMA recently dropped the entire flood risk rating for this town, meaning flood insurance rates here will drop by as much as 10%. And Howard sees this as the kind of model other cities and towns should emulate.
What we are demonstrating to FEMA by that is we are paying attention to substantial improvements, substantial damage to buildings.
Around here, they know there's no controlling the sea. Instead of ignoring the changes that are rolling in, this town is meeting the waves head on.
Everywhere we're living on borrowed time, but, you know, up against Mother Nature, you're really living again on borrowed.
In Provincetown, Massachusetts, I'm Chris Conti.
Here over the past week, at least throughout the state, it looks and feels like we're in a flood zone. Of course, as we've been having this monsoon moisture producing these thunderstorms throughout the afternoon, heavy rains, as even here through the past couple of hours towards southern Utah, areas such as Zion National Park. We did have a flash flood warning in effect, which has expired. Now, as we look across the Wasatch Front, a view from our Oquirrh Mountain camera looking across the Salt Lake Valley, a few high clouds around. Of course, in the early morning hours, we had those rain showers, even some thunderstorms. Really, throughout the daytime hours, it hasn't been much of a factor. With these clouds in place, though, it's been nice to get a break from the heat. Once again, we're finding temperatures today below normal, low to mid to upper 80s as you go from Provo through Salt Lake City. And there are parts of the Wasatch Front beginning to get a little bit in the action here with those afternoon thunderstorms. Moving ahead, though, as we're holding on to this flow of that moisture coming in under this monsoon situation here, we can see for tomorrow, once again, eye to the sky, areas prone to flash flooding. We're in that orange category. Probable situation here as we look at the possibility of flash flooding in effect there for tomorrow and pushing through Sunday as well. Specifically, we are looking at a flash flood watch in effect across southwestern Utah, where again we've been seeing some heavy rain showers earlier on moving through Zion National Park. Still holding on to that possibility just east of Cedar City, traveling along there, Highway 14, going east as you make your way towards Highway 89. Potential areas such as Panguitch over towards Brian Head. Brian Head's always a concern here. I shouldn't say always, but especially here over the past couple of years where we, of course, had the fires near Brian Head, Burn Scar area. Definitely, if we see heavy rain, we can see a lot of flow and mudslides there. Now turning towards central Utah, a few isolated thunderstorms along I-70 there. We've been focusing on some thunderheads developing over areas such as Spanish Fort Canyon down through Schofield. Now we're seeing kind of a push there, just the south end of Utah Lake. Moving through Santa Quin, moving northward, could impact areas such as Saratoga Springs, Eagle Mountain, then track towards the Salt Lake Valley. Doesn't look too impressive, but it could produce some brief showers, isolated thunderstorm moving ahead. All in all, as we're seeing that moisture in place here throughout the weekend, it will remain in effect. Then we're going to get a push of some drier air from the west as we go Monday into Tuesday. But the chances of rain there for both Saturday and Sunday. And really as we push into Sunday, we'll see increased threat, though, of some scattered thunderstorms that could produce some heavy rain in effect again as we go into Sunday, Monday as well. Then we'll welcome in that drier air. Until then, tonight, we're looking at some isolated thunderstorms. Tomorrow, a repeat across the south through the Wasatch Front. Better chance, though, as we move Saturday into Sunday, seeing those thunderstorms having an impact more across northern Utah. As we do have the clouds and an isolated thunderstorm, temperatures remain below 100. Then we push away the clouds, we welcome in the sun, and then we crank up the heat. 105 expected high by the middle of the week. Northern Utah, it's low 90s, scattered thunderstorms mainly throughout the afternoon as we go from Sunday into Monday. Then we'll start seeing that drier air. Temperatures do climb. We'll get above normal by the middle of the week, but hopefully we get some more rain here moving through the weekend.
It was a late night for Jazz GM Justin Zanik. Ultimately, Utah elected to trade down from 30 to 40 at Thursday's NBA draft, but the organization believes that they found their guy. Jared Butler has played in big games before. Back in April, he won a national championship at Baylor, which is exactly what Zanik believes he can do here as well. Then again, could his health be an issue? At the Combine, some projected Butler to be a lottery pick before the guard was flagged for a diagnosed heart condition. Despite averaging 17 points, 5 assists, and 2 steals a game in college last season, Butler fell into round 2, which the Jazz consider a gift as they had their eye on Butler all along. Zanik wouldn't talk about his health, only that they're confident in that selection.
He's got a varied skill set that he's displayed at the highest levels of college basketball with a lot of experience, played in really big games, has produced in big games, a great leader, a great teammate, and the multi-skilled aspect of his game, I think, will fit well in what we ask our players to do here, and what Coach does is to be able to dribble, pass, shoot, lead, guard, and he checks all of those. Somebody that we were really excited when we had a chance to get him. Like, it was a no-brainer for us.
Once again, the Jazz have traded Derek Favors, this time to Oklahoma City, but they had to give up a future first-round pick to do it. It was the only way to get the Thunder to soak up Favors' big contract. The Jazz getting a future second-round pick and cash in return. Favors has spent 9.5 of his 11 seasons in the NBA right here in Utah. The Favors move makes sense if you want to keep Mike Conley, that is, with the free agent negotiating period underway on Monday. Some are reporting that Conley could get a 3-year deal up to $75 million to stay with the Jazz, which was more than previously speculated. But Zanuck says new owner Ryan Smith's commitment to winning is off the charts.
All I can tell you, two things. One, we have a plan. We always have a plan, and we're going to go execute that to the best of our ability. And Ryan's resources and commitment to spending are going to be at levels that we've never done with the Jazz.
The Texas/Oklahoma jump to the SEC is a done deal after the Board of Regents from both schools formally accepted invitations to join what will eventually be a 16-school super conference. The only question now is when. The move probably won't happen until 2025, when their current contracts with the Big 12 dries up. And Major League Baseball's trade deadline has passed, but not before some monster deals. The Dodgers acquiring perhaps the best pitcher in baseball, Max Scherzer, along with all-star shortstop Trey Turner from Washington, while the Giants just snared four-time all-star Chris Bryant from the Cubs. The Pacific Division rivals and top two clubs in the National League separated by only 3 games. We're right back.
This can't be good.
You've got enough to think about maintaining. Luckily, your Volkswagen is easy. The all-new 2022 Taos has a lower cost of maintenance than its Toyota, Honda, and Subaru competitors. Life's easier in a Volkswagen. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and lease the all-new 2022 Taos S for just $219 a month.
It's another day, and anything could happen. It could be the day you welcome 1,200 guests and all their devices. Or it could be the day there's a cyber threat. Get ready for it all with an advanced network and managed services from Comcast Business. And get cybersecurity solutions that let you see everything on your network. Plus an expert team looking ahead 24/7 to help prevent threats. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
A Ford built for you, by you. Get yours, built from the ground up with your choice of colors, wheels, and other available features specifically designed for your Ford. Want a head-up display in Escape, 5 GOAT modes in Bronco Sport, or best-in-class gas torque in a Ranger? You've got it. And now an extra $1,000 bonus cash on top of all public offers. See your dealer for a Ford built for you, by you. Build and order your select Ford today and get $1,000 bonus cash in addition to all public offers.
Well, before we go, last look at your 7-day forecast. Southern Utah, you'll notice we're drying out, heating up. We bring in the sunshine, but for the weekend, still a chance of some scattered thunderstorms. Better chance of seeing rain here across northern Utah, especially as we go Sunday into Monday. But we'll bring in that drier air. We're back into the 90s again by Wednesday.
Is this doing our drought any good at all?
It's helping a little bit, but we really need to do our job in the winter months to build up that snowpack.
Yes.
Make more snow. Those reservoirs.
Yeah. Overnight temperatures nice, down in the 70s. Have a good Friday night and see you back here tonight at 9.
The NFL is back as Big Ben meets the Steelers against Dak and the Cowboys. Touchdown! The Hall of Fame game, August 5th on Fox.
The Yankees versus the White Sox at the Field of Dreams on Fox.
When you look at this piece of cardboard, you wouldn't think I'm holding something deadly. Yet something this small and light has caused deadly accidents when left in the back of a vehicle. Unsecured items cause thousands of crashes, hundreds of injuries, deaths, traffic gridlock, and millions of your tax dollars to clean it up. Make sure everything in your truck or trailer is secured with rope, tie downs, or a tarp. We're all responsible for keeping our roads safe. Keep it clean, Utah.
A message from Fox 13.